Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie class. Today we will speak about cult movie, Died Hard, number one of the how we call series. Yep, teacher Lee is okay.
Series, yeah.
Series. Yep. And our protagonist is John McClane, who is created. How much Die Hard's episodes is now? 6 or 5?
I can't remember. At least 4, yeah, maybe 5 or 6.
Okay, but John McClane is still a good one. Yep, still a like tough guy.
Yes.
Okay, Leila, tell us a bit about John McClane. Is he a charming guy or something?
He is a New York City policeman or cop. And at first, when the film starts, I like the way he just dresses. I like the way he's clean shaven. I mean, the way he acts, everything. And then I understand that he flies to Los Angeles because he wants to visit his wife. And I don't know if he knows that his wife is at a Christmas party or not, but suddenly I decided that maybe he knows, and he went there by car. A special, is it a limousine?
Limousine, yep.
Yes.
A long one, yep.
Yes, he enjoyed that. And the taxi driver is a funny man. I like the guy though. And they went to the party, and I don't want to give a lot of details, but he and his wife met and they were talking in a special place. I think this place belongs to his wife. And suddenly they heard some, shotguns. Is it truly shotgun? Can I say that?
Shots, we just say gunshots.
Gunshots, right? And 12 terrorists attack the building, right?
Okay.
And they are German terrorists. And suddenly he understands that he was on his own. There was no one else but him to save them.
Okay, let's stop for a bit there. First question: why we know that they are German?
Oh, it was said during the movie.
Okay, so it's explicitly said. Yep.
Right.
So, okay, I noticed that teacher Lee wrote in our chat the word estranged wife, estranged daughter. So let's stop a bit for that. So I know a few words that we can use related to divorce. So we have divorced, we have separated, and we have estranged. Yep. How we ex-wife. Yep. What else?
Separated and estranged are similar. When they're separated, they stay married, but they live in different places.
Yes.
Estranged implies they're separated and they have hostile feelings, like strangers.
Okay. So probably they have some arguing or something, some quarrel about, I don't know, possessions or something like that. So yeah, so it's not like we are friends, everything is fine. No.
Right.
You will never see your daughter again, never.
Right. That's estranged. I don't want to see you. I hate you. Yeah.
Gerard, please.
The reason is Mike McLean's wife has broken the glass ceiling, She has a very high position in a very important company.
Yeah.
And McLean is just a police officer.
Okay,
so she changed her family name. In America, they change the name when women change their name when they get married. And McLean doesn't like that too much.
Yeah, so another good expression, broken the glass ceiling. So it's like she was restricted, yep, by this ceiling.
In theory.
Yeah, okay, let's say we don't know that we live in, in circumstances when men oppress women. We don't argue with that, yeah? So she broke it and became a vice president or something. Yeah. But what was the problem about that? With which side? So wife thinks that McLean is not good enough now, or he is thinking, wow, I cannot live with such a good, such a woman with a high position.
But this woman is living in LA, Los Angeles, and Mike Lane in New York, the other thousands of miles away. So that's a big problem, I think.
How would we call this, teacherly? Distant relationship?
Yeah, it becomes a question of whose job or whose career is more important. She could stay in New York with him and be the submissive housewife and never achieve her dreams, or she can go where her job takes her and leave him behind, or make him come with her. So in this case, the woman became more successful and her job made her move, and he thought that his job was more important than her job, so he refused to move. So their hierarchy of career importance became a disagreement point.
Yes, I understand. But let me clarify one point. I think it's interesting cultural detail. So as far as I know, for instance, in Russia, we have a federal police, just federal. So if you are a policeman and you move to another region, you keep the same rank, the same salary, nothing changes for you.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, in America, in US, if you are a New York policeman, it's me and nothing in California, right? Because they have own policeman, own police like service.
Right. Every state has their own police. Every city, really. Yeah.
Yeah. So if McLean will go to with his wife, probably he will start from the ground.
Probably not, but he might not be as important. It might be lower pay, or he might go in at a lower position, or maybe he just hates California.
Yeah. But my point was, it's not only about male pride. Probably there is some downshifting in that with this moving.
Possible, yeah.
Possible. Okay. We covered that, I think. Sergey, can you continue with the story? So they hear some gunshots.
Some German terrorists start to find the CEO from Japan, Mr. Nakamoto, maybe, and the guns ask to Nakamoto, please tell me the password for your safe, room, where is the very expensive action or paper. And Mr. Nakamoto denied, and the guns killed Nakamoto, and they start to find this password without help. And suddenly, John McClane saw that inside the building there are terrorists, and he started to fight with them, and he killed one terrorist in your floor. And next, he tried to understand how many terrorists, and he tried to call to police department, and he tried to make false fire. But the terrorist called to the police fire department. It's no problem. It's okay. And next, the terrorist finds some password. And they tried to find this Mr. McClane, and McClane have a lot of action. It's a lot of killed, a lot of very interesting and very beautiful blows, and the kills and the jumps.
Yeah, probably dynamic. Yep. So
yeah.
Everything's changed. Okay, let's stop a bit here. So I think I know a few words that we can use for this password thing. So we can brute force a password. It means that we trying all the combination of literals, of letters to find the real password. We call it brute force. Am I correct, usually?
Mhm.
And another verb is a crack. I don't know. Can we use it? Crack or something?
Crack,
make
crack the safe. Yeah, crack the safe. Yeah.
Yeah, so crack the safe, brute force the password. Okay, so how we can describe these actions? It's a dynamic, it's violent.
Both.
Leila?
It was probably more. We probably might want to call it a vault instead of a safe.
Okay.
Safe is usually small. A vault is usually huge, like in a bank.
Okay, so with this, big gates, yeah?
Right.
So high, like doors and all the things. Yep.
Time locks and all kinds of security devices on it.
Yeah. And the movie is pretty old, so no mobile phones, as far as I understand, yes? That's why McLean had a problem to call the police, because all the wired lines just
Yeah.
cut. Yep, they were cut. Okay. Leila? I hear you talking something.
No, I was just thinking, and you were talking about the film. Yeah, both dynamic and violent for me.
Yeah. So McLean, he's a kind of a tough guy. Yeah. If he see a terrorist will become dead in a minute, probably. So for a terrorist, there is a rule of thumb. Can we say so? How we call it?
Rule of thumb.
Rule of thumb.
Yeah.
So avoid McLean, please, for your security. Okay, Gerard, please.
Yeah, we should explain what was inside the vault
Yes, please.
that the terrorists wanted. Actually, they weren't terrorists. They were actually thieves, just thieves, but disguise of terrorists, because they had a plan, and So then inside the vault there were bearer bonds. So bonds, this bearer bonds it's people can buy debt from the government. So you pay money, and then there is a paper, and this debt yields interest.
Mhm.
So that was inside there was $640 million in bearer bonds.
So what we know about bonds? They are anonymous, right? You cannot track them. So they just a
Just
piece
money.
of paper. Yeah, it's just it's better than money. It's a financial instrument. Yep. And government guarantee that they will pay you back with an interest. Yeah, regardless what is happening with economy or other things, the government will pay. How, we don't know. They just print more money probably. Yeah. What else? They are not tied to individual. Teacher, you helping me? How we call this type of without? I don't know. For credit card, we use the word embossed. Yes. So if it's embossed, it means that you have your name on it,
Right.
and it's unembossed if you don't have a name.
Right. So
Can we use
anonymous. Yeah.
Anonymous, yes.
Yeah.
So we can use it for bonds or not. Unembossed bonds. Oh, it looks strange, teacher.
We don't say unembossed or yeah.
Okay.
It's like even Western Union. You have to prove who you are. Western Union, it used to be if you had the number, anybody could get that money.
Mhm.
But now they check your identification and look at your picture ID, and it's a lot of trouble.
Yes, I think there are. Why cryptocurrency is so popular in modern world, becoming so popular? Because bank system is very suspicious. You bring your money and they ask where you got it. Yeah, where you got them? Please show us a contract. Who paid? And so on. Yeah, so you have to show the source of your money in any case. Yeah, and I think it's all over the world. Leila, do you understand what we're talking about?
It's almost the same, but I have found a way. There is a form that you have to fill the form, and at the end of it, there's the explanation part. And I said, Bora's mom, bye-bye. So when you say mom, They don't ask me anything.
Okay, so let's call it a trick.
Of course.
Yeah, but will it work for long? I'm not sure. Okay, so there is in the world, we know there are a lot of these bonds, government bonds, probably American bonds. So if they steal them, they will get a lot of money. Okay, how would we call this terrorist disguise? Is it a covering operation? Can you say so?
Yeah, a cover operation or a ruse, a deception.
Okay, so yes, but Gerard, can you elaborate more? Why they need this cover operation? Why not just rob it and flew away?
So they can win time to do their purpose. Their purpose is escape with bonds, and they are pretending that they are terrorists, and they want that the government frees some terrorists that important terrorist group, and so it's a distraction. But actually, they have a van prepared in the garage, underground garage, parking lot. So they want to escape with a van, a concealed van.
So how I understand it? I understand it in a way that, you know, for police, for FBI or other secret services, if you have a deal with terrorists, it's a one procedure. It's a one like plan. If you deal with just a robbery, the plan, you know, you will not, you know, discuss something with a robber probably, but you will with a terrorist. So it's a way to get some time. Well, why they call FBI and so on? So it's a prolong the action. Teacher Lee, please.
Yeah, what happened was, to get into this vault, the vault had, let's say, 4 layers of security, 4 defense layers. They had the tools to get through 3 of them. But the 4th security feature, they could not break unless they caused power to the building to be lost. The police, normally the police do criminal stuff in their city, but they won't turn power off to a city block to capture a bad guy. So by pretending it was a terrorist hostage situation, the federal government FBI automatically has jurisdiction. So by saying they were terrorists, the FBI took charge and told the police to go sit in the corner. Well, Hans Gruber knew the FBI's procedures, and he knew that they would turn off power to the whole block, and then that vault would be open. So he was counting on the FBI to help him complete his mission.
Yeah, nice point. So it's not just a discuss, you know, it's a part of the plan, right? To get like cut the power of the building. So what word we can use for this? Like, police does not have enough rights to cut the power, or does not have enough legislature. How we call this?
I don't know. We call it jurisdiction and authority.
Authority. Okay, authority.
Jurisdiction is your area of control, and authority is your permission, your power, ability to do something. Okay. So the FBI, the police normally have jurisdiction. They have control of their city, all the problems in the city. But if it's a terrorist thing, or it's 2 states or 3 states, the FBI automatically has jurisdiction. It becomes their area of responsibility.
Yep, I understand. Yeah. And probably it's worthless to ask for a helicopter to a police, right? They just don't have it yet.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So what else? Sergey mentioned this fake flame. Yes, fake, how we call it? Fake... Yes, so this McLean tried to make a fake like flame in the building, yeah, to stand to make attention.
Okay, just a small fire. It wasn't fake. It was just a small fire under control.
Yeah. So how would we call it? A trick, an attention trick, or like
A distraction or something to get attention.
yeah. So it was his way to try to communicate, right? Because he doesn't have mobile and the doors are closed. So he needs to. I don't know how we get to how we call that if we ask people to pay attention. So we.
To get people's attention, you mean?
Okay, yeah. So I'm looking for a verb, you know, to lure people attention or something.
And remember, there was a black policeman on the ground. He was key. Okay, he was an important figure in this movie. How did McClane get the black policeman's attention? Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Body. Yeah?
A dead body fell on his car.
Okay, and you know, be careful. We have a black mother today, and she's correcting us. We cannot say black policeman. We should say man of color.
I don't know what it was.
What is worse, yeah. Asad, please, can you explain us this, you know, this body and black police? What you remember about this?
About the black policeman?
Yeah.
Yes,
All
the
this
black
communication
police.
between them. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was buying some food for him or maybe his wife in a grocery shop. While he was shopping, he got a call from the emergency control unit that there is something is happening in that building and go and check. So he said, okay, I will check that, and he moved to there and found that nothing unusual because they already set up their guy in the reception. So he pretended like he was the employee, and he was watching some sports event on television. So he suspected nothing, and he was on his way to the car. And when he started his car, McClane killed somebody. Meanwhile, he was fighting with terrorists, and he, how to say that, he threw a dead body out of the building, and it exactly fell on his car's bonnet. So, and he then at that point the terrorist sensed the situation because he might tip off the rest of the police. So they started firing on his car, and he frantically took a reverse gear and moved from there. A lot of how to say that, damage has happened as he was driving back, and finally
so
he landed.
What we can learn from this, you know, it's a good way to to make people to pay attention to you. Yeah, if you in a shop and no one is looking on you, you know, just throw the dead body to them, and they will react. Okay,
we call that to send a message.
How you call it, actually? Send a message?
Yeah, he sent him a message.
Okay. A message that you cannot ignore, you know. Remember this old joke about mafia things, you know, the horse, how we call it? An offer that you can't refuse or something.
Right. Same idea. A message you can't not see.
Yeah. But what is interesting, as teacher Lee taught us just now, that actually it was a part of the plan to, you know, to get some attention from a police, right? For terrorists. So they needed it. So why they were hiding from this black guy? Jürgen, do you understand?
Can I say it again?
Yeah. So terrorists, they needed that police found that they are in the building, right? It was part of their plan, their plan. Yes, but when black guy arrived, why they did not shoot him or something? Why they pretended that everything is normal?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I don't know either, but maybe it was just bad time. Please, what's answer?
Yeah, I have an idea because initially I think initially they didn't have the plan to draw attention of the FBI because they already have the boss with them. So if the boss said the secret code, they could have easily broke the vault. But he refused, and they killed. And somehow disconnecting the electricity might have been done by the terrorist group themselves. It's not a big deal for them. They could have cut the lines inside the building. So I think they get used to the situation. I think they adapt.
I understand. So you mean that it wasn't their plan A, right? It was a plan B if something will go wrong in the wrong way. So what is strange? Why they killed this Japan guy? You know, why they did not kill someone else to show they like serious, intentions or something? Yeah. So why they killed the only guy who knew the password? I would kill anyone but not him.
Yeah, you would think that. Go ahead.
Sergey, please.
Let Sergey try. Okay, go ahead.
Sergey, why?
I think this is an action movie, and I don't know the good reason for killed. In my opinion, they had to cut fingers. It's a good way for looking for the passwords. That's my opinion. But maybe they are very hate Japanese persons. Maybe I don't know. The normal reasons I didn't see.
Yeah.
For kill Nakamoto, maybe maybe he is a bad guy at the guns.
So he just cannot hold his horses, right? He cannot. Okay. Teacher Lee, do you have another version?
Well, as you said, I think it might have been better if they had let him live and started killing the people one by one, especially his employees that are close to him, to try to get him to give the password. But as you said, they didn't use that option. They just killed him. Now, one benefit from killing the top man is you immediately tell the other people, the other hostages, don't screw with me. Because I'm not afraid to shoot you in a heartbeat,
Yeah, but yes and no. If you kill 10 people, from sales, it will be the same.
Yeah.
Gerard, please.
During the movie, I was asking myself why the terrorists or the thieves don't threaten McLean to surrender himself. Otherwise, they would start killing the people, inside.
Yes. The same
they don't
question,
do that.
right?
That's weird. But they could they do that at the end of the movie, but it's an easy solution for them.
Yeah, I just got an idea. Maybe those, fake terrorists, they have a high moral level. They just don't want to kill people. What do you think? Teacher Lee.
Well, one thing that McLean was trying very hard to do was to keep his identity secret. If they knew he was a policeman, then they would have done that immediately. But they thought he was just some, janitor or somebody left in the building that might not care about these other people. So that's why McLean was trying to keep his identity secret, I think, so that they wouldn't use the hostages against him.
Yeah, looks very logical, yeah. You know, but what chances are that janitor, you know, just killed 10 trained guys?
System admin
System admin.
trying to protect his computers. Yeah.
Okay, so Black Manta, can you speak today? Would you like to participate? We are still going through the story. I'm watching. Okay, she is watching. So where we stopped? We stopped at this actions, at this fake fire, at this message by body. Yep. Let's start from the, how we call this, when police surround the building. What was it? Siege? Can we say siege?
You can say siege, yep, if you want to.
Okay. Jürgen, would you like to try?
It was LAPD, yeah. They come with a special vehicle, but they destroyed it in 2 shots.
With a big bazooka. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So siege was unsuccessful, right? But it's not actually a siege. Siege is when you are waiting, right? For
Right.
when you surround and wait. When you
Right.
go inside, it's a, how we call it, storm. Oh,
I'd call it an assault or storm the building. Yeah, they tried to storm the building with overwhelming numbers, but the rocket launcher canceled out their advantage.
okay. So we need to find a way to go to the happy end, because I know there must be a happy end. Who wants to continue? Vasants, would you like?
Yes. So which part?
Yes, we just stopped on unsuccessful attempt of storming the building.
Oh yes. And later the FBI arrived because there was a reporter who telecasted all these events in a live relay, and so it got the nation's attention, and the FBI arrived and they tried to go at the roof, at the top of the building to rescue the people, I think. But instead of saving them, they got killed by the explosives the terrorist placed before that. So actually, a helicopter was totally damaged, and the policemen were killed. Yeah, that's happened next.
Yeah, and one little, admin remark. Vasants, I know you are from mobile phone, so when you write T in our chat, I receive message on my mobile, but not there.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you are joining us with mobile, just try to speak, not write T. We don't see it. Just
Okay.
try to interrupt or wave your hands. It's okay. Okay, so was there any line about news? Teacher Lee, please.
Oh, just one quick item. We had asked earlier why they tried to keep everything looking normal while they did their operation. The reason was, remember, they had 4 layers of security they had to get past. The FBI was only needed for number 4. So they wanted everything to stay normal and quiet to give them time to break through the first layer and the second layer and the third layer, because that took like hours and hours to do. So that's why they really didn't want to involve the FBI until late when they were at stage 4. But because of the black policeman and McLean, the FBI got involved sooner, and they had to kind of hurry to get the first 3 stages complete. So he kind of threatened that one guy of his and said, "You'd better have this 3rd layer busted by this time, or you're in trouble, because our time is running out now."
Yep, we understand it. So I just recalled, was there a special line about news reporters or something, you know, some story about them? Sergey, do you remember?
Yes, I remember the reporter found the story about this building, and he wanted to have hype news for everything, and his boss uh, arrived to this building, and they start to watch this uh, прямой эфир.
Yeah, on the air, yeah?
On there for everybody, and he started to watch some participants this story. McLean, his wife, his daughter, his mother-in-law, and they went to his mother-in-law, his daughter. They started to make an interview, and they show this interview on the TV. And suddenly this Gans watched this TV, and he understood that the woman is McLean's wife. It's the short story about the reporter. If I understand it correctly, the reporter maybe it's a bad guy because he sent a lot of problem for McLean.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. So, what is the job of reporters? They need, you know, hot news. They need a lot of people watching them. Yeah.
Yes, in nowadays it's not bad story. It's a good work for reporters because the reporters now started to show for us on air or story. But in 1988, maybe it was bad.
Yeah, it wasn't so clear, let's say, right? Maybe bad, maybe good, but not so clear. Okay. So yes, nowadays if you got shot on the street, you know, people start to translate to Facebook immediately.
Yeah.
Before they called police, if they going to call police.
Help me. No. I read.
Yeah, there are a lot of jokes about that, on the internet. Yeah, so it's a dilemma, in the reporter's mind, it's a dilemma. You need this rating for your show. You need, you know, for your career. So you want to show hot news, you know, blood, sex, all those things, what attract people immediately at this moment. But why it's unique.
It's not bad work. He is a reporter. He is his job. And he is a good guys.
Yeah, but at the same moment, you know, it can injure, it can hurt people, right? People who are in action. For instance, it's not that easy task to understand where is the border, you know, where is the line, because there are, you know, now the world is very compact. So sometimes, you know, we have, for instance, we have some military pilots, you know, and reporters publish their photos and their family on the news, and people who are not happy without them, who under bombing of these pilots, they go to react strongly. And no more privacy in the world, I would say. Yes, so I forgot my point about the reporter. So, but at that moment, you know, 20 years ago, it looks like it wasn't that clear. And it's interesting that I know at least two countries.
I'm sorry, it's not 20, 30 years.
30 years already.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah, it was like yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know why Russian TV likes this movie, but maybe because it's about Christmas. But we always have it on our TV during the Christmas. Yeah. So for me, this flying Gruber is a key of the Christmas, is a part of the Christmas. Yeah.
Did you notice that Hans Gruber, the actor, looks familiar?
Yes.
Why? Why?
Huh?
Alan Rickman.
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
He-
yeah, Harry Potter and the movie about love, where real love.
Real love. Okay. Yeah, good one.
Okay. So he was Snape in Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's a big magician. Yeah.
Yeah.
Powerful one.
So he's a famous actor. So when I first saw Harry Potter, I went, "This guy looks familiar." And later I found out that he was Hans Gruber. I went, wow.
Yeah, but I think he acted very well. We can't believe that he's a Z German. Yeah.
I liked him. He was a great bad guy, man. I loved him. Always calm. You know, very calm. Blam, you're dead. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get on with our business. Oh.
Okay. Okay. What was my point about reporters? I know at least two countries. One is Israel. One is USSR, which is doesn't exist anymore. In which you cannot how to say it, broadcast a report if there is a terroristic act. So it's always hidden, not to pay. To prevent, any villain, to prevent any attention to that. So it was a part of the program, anti-terrorist program. So if terrorists, for example, in USSR, they, what's the word for that? Get a plane. Actually, how to say it correctly? Terrorists, they like get a plane, or how to say it? Assault a plane.
A plane?
Attempting?
They request a plane?
Hijack.
Airplane. Hijack. Okay.
Oh,
so
hijack. Okay, yeah.
Yes. So if terrorists hijack a plane in Soviet Union, no one discussed anything with them because for police it doesn't exist. So and actually it prevented a lot of terroristic acts because terrorists knew that they have no one to communicate after that. You will be destroyed. That's all. It's
what happened in 9/11, which is kind of interesting. I forget now, 3 or 4 planes were hijacked. And because of cell phones and the news, the other planes saw that the first 2 planes crashed into the World Trade Center. So the people on that plane said, we're all going to die. So they risked their lives to try to take over the airplane. And that was going to crash into the Pentagon. So news actually warned them that they were going to die anyway, so they may as well die trying to take over the plane. So that actually prevented one more tragedy.
Yeah, you see, it's not that it's a slippery slope. Yep, we don't know where to put the line.
Right. Yeah.
What is better?
But I agree, it could be bad. Yeah, it could be bad too. You tell people what you're planning, and then they can do something else.
Yeah, but my point was mainly about what? About why terrorists take hostages? Because they know that there will be a negotiation. But what if they know that negotiation is impossible? If you get hostages, you will be just assaulted. That's all. So like in Israel or in Soviet Union. So it's significantly reduce these acts somehow. But you need some guts to take this decision, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so we discussed this news reporters. Time for happy end, I think. Jart, can you finish the story? How they survived?
There was a fight between the terrorists and McLean, and I think did we talk about the heliport blown up by explosives?
I can't remember. Please tell us.
Because the terrorists, the Hans, wanted to all the hostages go to the roof to be saved by helicopters, but actually it was a ruse. He wanted to blow up all the heliport and kill everybody, and they escaped using the parking lot with a van. But thanks to McLean, this plan failed. And at the end, it was a fight between Hans and McLean, and McLean's wife was in the middle, and at the end, McLean won.
Yeah.
And
Because he's a,
fall down
yeah.
from the building.
yeah, he's a policeman, you know. For him, this 100 terrorists is nothing. Just kill them.
It's like Rambo.
Okay, so happy end. Yep.
One thing I didn't understand, or why instead of asking the FBI to cut the power, there must be a power supply in every building. A place where you can cut the electricity. And the terrorists have the blueprints. So why they didn't cut the electricity from this point?
Well, I can guess it can be not so easy. There are a lot of systems of reserves. I don't know what.
But they had C4. They had C4. C4. You can do anything with C4.
It's a big building, like it's a skyscraper. For skyscrapers, they have a big device on the roof that move a big steel ball. Have you heard about this? They balance building. They balance building automatically. They have a big metal thing on the roof, which a lot of tons, 100 tons, and they move it to not so skyscraper cannot fall because of that. So for this device, the energy is very important. So I think there are a lot of lines. Probably it's reserved or something. I don't know.
Generators, you mean?
Generators or something else, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's for instance, I don't know much about skyscrapers, but I know about data centers. And in data centers, it's very hard to cut the power. You cut one line, another started to work. You cut another one, and you get a generator. You cut generator, and you get an accumulator, and so on. So a lot of backup energy. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be the vault, had especially protected power supply lines with steel around them. I don't know.
Yeah, very, very possible.
It's hard
Sergey?
to say.
Sergey, please.
Yes, I want to talk about the terrorist. In my opinion, the very interesting choose. Why the director choose the German as terrorist?
Yeah.
It's not Soviet Union treat. It's not Arabic treat. Only German. It's all okay. We choose the German. It's a very surprising because before this time we watched movies about Soviet treat. After that time we watched movie about Arabic terrorists. It's a very short time when we could to see the German terrorists.
Well, what to say? Answering your question. First of all, I agree with you. When we started discussing, I asked actually why German. How is possible that Russians are not so good enough for the movie? Yeah, I was disappointed about it. But another thing, I watched some shows on American TV, just my language, and I found that they joke about Germans from time to time, and sometimes very strange. They can say how Germans get to, I don't know, to Georgia. How Germans get to Georgia? They march. So they into nothing or something.
Ivan, your connection is bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It sounds horrible.
Latency.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're
probably.
Right.
Yep.
You're right.
Continue.
Movies are a little bit political. Hollywood is a little bit political. After World War II, the bad guys were usually Germans or maybe Japanese. And then the current day, I mentioned in the chat here, there was a movie called Red Dawn. Red Dawn was a good movie. In that movie, the Russians invaded the U.S. and they were ruthless and killed people. And they were led by a Cuban. Okay. So, and then when they remade the movie, it wasn't politically tactful to use Russians as bad guys anymore because we had a détente. So in the remake of the movie, the Koreans invaded America, North Koreans. So the enemy sometimes depends on the current state of the world tension.
Yes, yes, and I can understand that. It's never easy to choose an enemy, right? For instance, for military exercises, you need some targets. Yep. So for NATO soldiers, they draw Russians. But sometimes we get offended of this. We say, "Wow, it's not
Right.
really, polite." I would say.
Right. Exactly right, though. Yeah.
Okay, and thanks to Vasants and other guys, we have some written questions on our Padlet. So let's answer them. First one: How could John McClane get into airplane with a gun? Jorgen, can you please answer this?
To airplane. No, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Before.
I think the answer is what Sergey mentioned and what Teacher Lee mentioned. It was 30 years ago. No one cared about security that much. You can get a gun, a bazooka, your dog, or something else to the airplane.
Well, don't forget he was a policeman too. Don't forget he was
Yeah.
an officer.
Yeah,
He had a resolution maybe.
I can remember that in all good times in Soviet Union, you cannot search the police officer in the airport and military officer, so they just go. Probably, what's the word for this searching in the airport? Usually,
Just going through security search.
But I mean,
search or scan.
Yeah, when the security guy, check you, how we call this?
Security scan, security search.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was a special word for this, but I forgot exactly. Okay, so passing through security. So it's all it's irresponsible security. Let's call it so. Another question: Do you keep photo frames of your family on your work desk? Sergey, do you keep photo frame?
Yep. in my table only.
In or on?
In.
So no one can see it, right?
No. I have a calendar with a naked girl.
Oh.
Sergey. Okay, let's call.
Yes. I have the photo in my smartphone and my family.
It doesn't count. It should be on the desk.
Yeah.
And people should watch it and say, "Oh, he's a good family guy." Yeah. Vasants, do you have some photos on your work desk, on your post office, at your post office?
No, I haven't seen anybody keeping their family photo on their desk, even in private or public sector in India. Maybe very elite people who are at the topmost position who has a separate room in a cozy building. So they might have had, but I have never seen. Yeah.
So it's not an usual habit in India, right? Actually, I'm surprised that Sergey has this photo because it's a not usual habit in Russia as well. In Russia, we usually have three possible things. First one, it's a current president. So, for instance, Putin. Second, not on the desk, but somewhere on the wall. Second one is, is a boss of your company, probably, sometimes, not very common. And the third option, it's a most popular, as Sergey mentioned, it's a naked girl. So it's it's the most popular. Actually, I have the same as Sergey has. Leila, teach us about your habits. Do you have these family photos?
No, not at much. No. I have a notice board, and I just put there the things that I have to do.
Okay.
I
So
know
you
you were going to think that I was going to say yes. No.
no, I did not know what you are going to say. I don't know. It looks like a cultural thing, you know. Some people put photos to the wallet, on the back of these phones, but I never did it, and I don't understand really.
My dad's photo in my purse. That's all.
Okay, Gerard, what about you? Your culture in general, in Europe, in Spain?
Some people like to carry photo picture, but I don't do that. I don't need
Yeah.
that. I remember my people with my brain.
Okay.
So
But what about, you know, president photo on workplace, or naked girl, or
no, the
torero?
king, maybe the king.
King, okay. I was surprised in Morocco, you know, king is everywhere. You know, you go to, excuse me for that, you go to public restroom and there will be a king in every, you know, cabin. I'm joking, but it's almost like this.
Yes, and we have the Gandhi's photo and some other national leaders in all government offices. It's inevitable. We have that on the wall, not on the desk.
Okay. Yeah. Well, interesting thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened when we re-elect the president. Should it will be destroyed immediately, or can we hold it for some time? I'm not sure about the protocol.
In Russia, the old guy goes immediately, right?
Yeah. So when our president is re-elected, old one is he's a devil, you know, devil. We start to say, he was a bad one, you know. We abstract him. But what about America, teacher Lee? Do you have these photos on your table?
Yeah, people like to put family pictures on their desktops. We don't put government pictures anywhere usually. We don't like kings and authority, so we don't do that. But naked pictures in the old days, we kept them inside our locker. So if you open the locker, there's a picture there. But today we don't. Oh God, if you put a naked picture of a woman on your desk today, oh my God, you'd be out the door before the close of business. So just family photos. Those days are long gone.
Okay, Jürgen, what about Sweden? Are you still allowed to have, you know, Playboy photos or something?
I don't know, but at my workplace there are pictures of Elvis Presley.
Okay. I think it counts, yep. Okay, I think we covered that. So another one. Why do they need detonators for the heist plan? I don't know. Heist. Yes, I'm not sure what does it mean, heist plan.
Heist is a robbery.
Robbery.
Okay. So why do they need detonators? Jürgen, do you know?
To reach the valuables in the vault, or
Yeah.
and more to damage the circuit system.
Yeah, so they cannot brute force the lock. Yeah, they cannot hijack it. So they need something powerful to make a hole and get inside. Okay, I'm not sure that we can add something here. Okay, did they choose? Oh, teacher Lee, please.
I thought the detonators were for the roof explosion. Remember, they were going to blow the roof, so they had C4 everywhere to blow the roof off. The problem with blowing up the vault is if you aren't careful, you'll blow up the money inside. So
yeah, exactly.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah. What is strange is this movie? Please, Vasant.
Yes, because I thought it is for their suicide plan. Not exactly suicide, but blowing up the building and the
Right. Yeah.
in fact, actually they escaped.
Yeah, I understand. So it's like a security for terrorists. If you're going to assault us, we undermine the whole building. Yep. Like this. And it's interesting that in this movie, all these bonds are, papers. Nowadays, it's all electronic. So you don't need to blast anything. You need to brute force a password. So another question. Did they choose Christmas Eve day on purpose? Sergey, what do you think?
If I understand the question correctly, why they choose the Christmas? Yes.
Christmas Eve day, so day before the Christmas. Yep.
Yeah, I think that if you spend time day before Christmas, you more relaxed. You more relax. You don't wait this treat. You wait the congratulations. It's a relax. It's a wine. It's a family time. Not terrorist. Not explosions.
I understand.
That's
Yes. So people more
and
relaxed in general. Yeah.
yes, that's why the terrorist saw that it's a good time for terrorist attack because the police department have a lot of tasks before because the celebration time it's a hard time for police department for fire
Yeah.
department.
A lot of drunk people everywhere. A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
small. Yeah. Probably we projecting our Russian stereotypes. But
maybe.
yeah. But what I mean, guys, if you ever are going to invite Russia, please do it in the time period from 1st January to 10th January. It's a New Year celebration, and all Russia is sleeping, paralyzed. No soldiers, no
It's
policemen.
drunk. Yeah,
Only drunk people on the street. So it's a good time. If you can manage to do it in 10 days, you will do it without any shots. Just go there.
If you are pregnant, you have a problem.
Yeah, really. Because no doctors in hospitals. Okay, Teacher Lee.
I think the main reason they chose Christmas was the building would be empty. And because there was a party, all the hostages were in one location. Also, a lot of the police might be on vacation. So it was an ideal time for the terrorists because they would have minimum interference and they could get a bunch of hostages in one location. So I think they planned it that way.
Yeah, it's a good. Oh, that's why policemen always tell us that these celebrations, these red days, as we call them, always hard for them because everything is happening. Yep. Okay, last question. Why did Alice volunteer to tip off? What do you think? Gerard, can you answer? Alice is the wife of McLean, I think.
Why did Alice volunteer to tip off?
Yep.
What does it mean, tip off?
No, you're talking about the bad guy that, remember there was one selfish guy in the hostages that wanted to be good with Hans Gruber. He wanted to be the spokesman, remember? So he knew about McLean's wife. So he's the one that tipped off or told Hans Gruber, hey, guess what? That guy up there, she's his wife. So why did he do that is what this question is about. Why did he help the bad guys?
He didn't realize how dangerous Hans group was. But he wanted to ease the situation, but I think he was wrong, and McLean tried to warn him. Those guys are very dangerous, and this guy wasn't aware of that.
Well, I think it's like a human nature. We always have this kind of guys, kind of traitors, I would say. For instance, we mentioned World War II. Do you remember today? And in World War II, if Nazi took some hostages, or how it's called, war. How we call military hostages usually?
Prisoners of war, POWs.
Yeah. If Nazis got these prisoners, first they do what they do. They say, "Show us the officers, and we will kill them." And usually it happens. Usually soldiers say, "This one is officer and this one is officer." Why? yeah, it's well documented, so it's usually take place. I don't know why. It's kind of the same situation.
Yeah.
Please, Vasant.
I have an idea because it's an action of two birds in one stone. He had an eye on McLean's wife initially in the movie, so if he tip off about him, they might kill him. That's one bird, and another one they may let him go. So escaping is the second bird. Yeah.
Yeah, so you saying he is trying to make a favor to a bad guy to get own profit. Yep, just let me go. It's
Yes.
it's the guy you need. Yep. Okay. I think we covered all the questions and all the story, and I enjoyed conversation as well. Sergey, please.
Yes, I wanted to discuss about one point. This is very surprising for me because we know about Americans that American government, American people always think about human life. American human life. And this movie, I watched one moment when the FBI officers used the helicopter, and one FBI officers talked each other. Oh, we lost 25% of hostages. Oh, no problem. And I expected this lost the hostages. Seriously, 25% of hostages, no problem. In American movie, it's strangely, it's blew my mind because I don't got used to this.
Yeah, it's what we think. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. It's what we think about China's mindset, and it's what Americans think about Russian mindset. Mindset that we can, lose 100% without blinking an eye.
Okay, but we talked about the American human.
Yeah, I understand your point.
You're correct. The FBI is particularly. They're like the German Gestapo, the SS. They're kind of hated by Americans because they have a lot of power and they can do anything they want. And in the movies, we usually portray the FBI as kind of evil. They don't care about human life. They want to take the bad guy and win. So I'm not sure if that's real life or not, but in the movies, we do make the FBI kind of the bad guys. The police always hate the FBI coming in because the FBI is like, move aside, we're in charge, we'll take care of the problem, 25% deaths, as acceptable damage.
It's a common pattern, yes. Common pattern.
Yes. Okay, we have the second strangely point for me when a lot of police department, FBI department, they call technical support of police department didn't hear this McLean. Oh, I have a problem with the terrorists. No, it's a special way for policemen. Yes, I'm a policeman. Don't tell us. Please switch off this radio station. You are crazy. He thought about the terrorists. Why a special way for policemen? And a lot of department didn't hear them. After that, a lot of department didn't find the good relationships. FBI department, police department, the McLean. What's wrong with you? It's American police department.
Yeah, but it's not American thing. I think it's everywhere. Secret Service and police, they have like what they have, some kind of competition maybe. a bit.
We call it rivalries. Yeah.
Rivalries, yeah. So they like, we did it. No, you just, were a mess. We did it, in fact. But the reason why they did not take seriously this talk by radio station, well, I don't know. Usually all the signals, at least in Russia, all the signals like this are very serious. If you call, don't do that. But if you call, some shop or supermarket and say, I put the bomb there, or there will be a terrorist attack, it will be immediately evacuated. Immediately there will be a secret service, and you will be caught in like 5 minutes, I think, maybe 10.
Yeah, it's correct.
Yeah, actually, it's a long story about this, and we will cover it someday. We are very vulnerable because of that. Now, some people attack us, but making a lot of fake alarms. So we're receiving thousands of fake alarms, and Russian towns are paralyzed because everything is closed, everything is in secret service checking and all those things. It's a sad story. Yeah, it's continue and continue.
We had the problem 1 weeks ago in St. Petersburg and Moscow.
But we have this problem 1 week ago in Siberia, in Tomsk. It still continue. But we tried not to report broadly about that, to reduce this amount of attacks. Okay, let's do some slides, at least, a few. What a movie class without slides. I'm trying to share pictures. Hope you see something. Do you?
Yeah.
Gerard, can you start, please? Oh, sorry.
The first one.
This one. How we call this?
Oh, what's that? The whole of the airport, the conveyor belt.
Yep. I think
where
so.
people pick up their luggage. And I don't see McLean or who is that? This guy. But that's the whole of the airport where people collect their luggage. I cannot say anything more. There are plants outside, beautiful.
I can see a big teddy bear behind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And what else? And how we call it? Conveyor? This
Conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Conveyor belt. Okay. And luggage and suitcases. Not much. Anything else? Sergey, can you find something?
Yes, I noticed the white shoes. It's very stylish.
High boot. Yep, on the belt, on this belt. Yeah, very stylish.
I guess it's a woman behind him because I see a fur coat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hope so. But Sergey, do you have such boots or not?
No,
not yet. Say not yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
Okay.
What can we call the windows? Something special? Or
Nah, just windows.
big panoramic view?
Yeah.
wide windows?
Okay. Another one. Jorgen, would you describe this one?
Yeah, it's Holly and I don't remember.
Yeah. Just look on the details on the picture.
two
Forget
women.
about the story.
2 women and 1 man.
Probably Gruber, no?
Yeah, it could be. He's standing with the
Beard. Yeah.
back. What do you say?
Yeah, how you say when people don't look at you, when you can see their back, how they stay? We have this anfas and profile. Do you have these words? Anfas when people look at you. Yep.
Yeah, profile is the edge. Usually, the edge of the face is profile.
Yep.
Face on.
Okay. And Gruber is back.
We would say his back is to us.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? some strange book on the desk, I would say. And
I'd say
calendar.
book. Yeah.
It's a financial book. It's my opinion.
Financial.
We say the
Well-
cover is folded back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about computers? Where are all the computers? No.
This was probably pre-personal computers.
No, it's impossible.
I think Windows came out around 1990, so this was before 1990, so it might have been before we had computers everywhere. Yeah.
Well, so these books are really, important financial thing. If you burn it, you just lose all your accounts.
Yeah.
Okay, not too much here. Let's go to the next one. We call it ledger. No, ledger. This financial books.
Yep. Ledgers and financial books, correct.
Okay. Yeah, another one. Sergey, what is happening there?
I didn't remember this moment, but there are two children and some toys and the truck and crane maybe and the a cup with a car, some children's book, and there is a kitchen. There are kitchen's devices. I don't know. Maybe this is.
Utensils, probably.
I don't understand. Maybe it's a cutter and the coffee pot maybe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And a towel, the refrigerator with the covers, some covers and.
Yeah, okay, cutter or grinder. How we call this device that make
grinder.
chop.
Yeah, grinder.
Blender.
Blender. Yeah, it's correct. Blender.
Or chopper. Yeah, chopper.
Chopper. Okay. I did not remember this part of the movie. Have no idea what sounds. Is this scene from this movie?
Yes. This is where Holly called her children from her office. So they were playing.
Okay.
She was talking to the Spanish maid.
Okay, Spanish, Latin.
Okay.
Teacher Lee, you had a comment? No.
No.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the next one then. Wow. What sounds? Can you describe this one?
What happened?
Yeah. I didn't know what he was doing. He was checking something on the desk and he was reading. Initially I thought he was having some drugs or something, cocaine or something.
Yeah, he's sniffing. It's a word for that. Sniff, something, cocaine.
Oh, okay, doing cocaine. That guy. Okay.
The stupid guy that killed Tipov.
Okay.
It's a luxury life.
Now we know your dream, Sergey.
No, it's not my dream.
Vasan, so for interruption, please continue.
Okay. He was. I think. Let's assume he is eating some chocolates, and there are some photo frames and. What is that in front of the? Is that a modem, wireless modem or something with two antennas? I can see that clearly. It's right next to the paper.
You're speaking
piece of paper.
about a piece of papers. Probably it's a holder for pens. I think 2 pens in the holder.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pen holder. 2 pens. Yep.
So, teacher, this white papers is old-fashioned like computer printouts.
Yeah, remember the big wide green and white computer paper, 132 columns that it folds.
Yeah,
that's a big stack.
Yeah, type of printers. We call it printers in Russian, but I don't know English. No,
yeah,
it's all technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old technology. I haven't seen that in 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah, but you know, now we have a laser printer, we have a ink printer, and this old one it was like typewriter, you know, it's actually like hit the paper by the I don't know by the word, by needles probably.
Needles.
Needles, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
How-
call it ink jets.
Inkjets, yep. And
Yeah,
laser jet.
little pins. Yeah, and laser jet. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But the ink jets have little pin heads that heat up and put ink on the page to make letters. Yeah.
Yeah, but all times we have a printer with, you know, with small needles, you know. This is a matrix with needles, and it's hit the black color to put mark on the white paper.
Yeah, we call those dot matrix printers.
Oh, close. Yeah, we call it matrix. We call it. We used to call them matrix printer in Russia. Yeah,
Yeah.
so dot matrix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yep.
What can you
Ah,
say?
so-
The pens are leaning or leaning
Mhm.
back. Hmm.
Yep. Leaning, inclined, at an angle.
Mhm, mhm. These pens invite you to sign something, you know, to sign your mortgage. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, Vasant, we keep interrupting you. Anything else?
I can see the small trees, decorative trees inside the room. That's interesting for me.
Fake.
Yeah.
They look fake to me. Plastic trees.
Hmm.
Palm trees.
What is interesting in this picture for me is that, you know, this family photos, they don't look on the owner, they look on the visitors. It's a strange thing.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
So you go there and hello, it's my boy, Mike. It's strange. Okay, so anything else? Or we go? It's a down on behind here, so sunset.
Yep, some hills in the background.
The scenery,
Sunset.
scenery is good. Yeah, and I can see wallpapers. Look at the right of the picture. Yeah, it's a wallpaper. Obsolete technology, as teacher taught us.
Yeah.
Still popular in Russia. Very, very, very much. Gerard, please do this one.
We can see Mike Lane here. He just arrived. He just met his wife after a long time. I know. I think he must be discussing. Especially, I know McLean was upset because she changed her family name to the old maiden name.
Yeah, but it was a good fact, yeah, for them. After, because the bad guy Gruber cannot find his surname.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Do
Lucky.
you do that in Russia? Do women?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
women change names, but you know it's not very common that a woman can get her maid family back. It's possible, but very rare they do that. So they like waiting for next marriage.
You know, in Spain we keep two family names. So usually first is the father name and then the mother name, but we can change them, the order. It's possible to change the order. So having first the mother's name, family name.
Okay, and a bit of cultural advices on this picture. This undershot, white thing that McLean wear. Don't wear this in Russia. It's Russia. If you wear that, it means that you.
I wear this. I wear
Sergey,
this.
Yeah, I'm describing you actually. So if you wear this, you are underclassed, some drunk people, But I have to clarify, I mean, wear this like not under your shirt or clothes or jacket, but only this thing. So if you wear only these things, it means that you are drunk yard or something.
Yeah. Same in America. It's not not good outerwear. We call it outerwear. Yeah, not good for outerwear. You look like a bum. Yeah.
Sergey, please.
But if you talk about shot, this is the legendary shot of Bruce Willis. It's a very important point of this Bruce Willis, and this is because you start about Bruce Willis, you remember the shot and Bruce Willis inside the
Yes.
shot.
Exactly this white
It's-
one with
It is
With
this
a-
meme.
yes, blotted by the blood and all those things. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
how we call this? This his feature. Can we say so? Feature.
Yeah. And the very interesting point, and the start of movie, we could see this the white shot. In the middle of movie, we could the brown shot. Maybe the
But it's not brown. It's just just blotted in blood of terrorists.
yeah, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
and he's just dirty because he has a lot of hard job.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think we covered this one. Jürgen, please, what is happening there?
Hans is talking to the hostage,
Yep.
and his companions wears weapon or having weapon,
Mm-hmm.
automatic.
Rifles.
Weapon. Yep.
Mm.
When it's short, we call it a machine gun.
Okay. So they look menacing. Yep. Menacing. How we call it? Menacing.
Menacing.
Yeah, menacing. Yep.
Menacing.
Is there a
yeah.
special word for this hostage situation? The initial assault or something, hijacking. No.
Now we just say a hostage situation in progress.
Okay. Hostage. Not too much there, but I like these walls. This stone pattern, these columns on the right side and behind. It's very interesting. And this how called the steps? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. They for what? I don't know, but looks interesting. A design.
Just a decor.
Yeah,
Now,
decor.
one thing I liked about Hans Gruber as a bad guy, if you look at him, he's well dressed.
Yeah,
His
he's a good
hair's
guy.
combed, his beard is well trimmed. He's very clean, very neat, very precise,
Right.
very
We can see
polite.
We can see. Yeah. I was going to say he's polite. He's well dressed. He's a good guy actually. And against him, who? John McClane. A bum. With this white T-shirt. Yeah.
So he's kind of a paradox. He looks so civilized, and yet he'll kill you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So he's ruthless but polite.
What can we call the stones behind him? That leaning.
Yeah. I think it's a column.
Just stone columns.
Stone column.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like this hairstyle of woman at that time.
Yeah.
I still wait for this fashion when it will return. I like this. How we call this circle things on the head, usually on the hair. Can you see this hairstyle for women? For instance, was this blonde one or blonde two?
You mean a bun? I don't see a.
Yeah, in Russia we have a small circle cylinders, curled. Yeah, Gerard, help me. Curled this hairstyle.
Curls, you mean?
Yeah.
Curls.
Okay.
Yeah, I like them. Let's wait 30 years and it will return. The fashion is always returning. Yep. Okay. Sergey, what is happening there? Do you know this guys?
Yes, it's the Mr. Nakamoto and Guns. Mr. Nakamoto described to Guns a new project in Indonesia. That's a very modern, a very stylish bridge with very high, широкий, very
White.
very wide roads and the guns. Ah, okay. And there are two very
Ways.
vases.
Vases.
Yeah, vases and the model of ships. It's interesting. It's a very stylish. The picture of Asia Pacific hero, maybe Buddha. So I don't like. I don't know.
Yeah. Hard to get. Some looks Chinese to me.
Yeah, Chinese, maybe Japanese hero.
Yeah.
It's a sakura. It's a artificial sakura.
A plant, you mean? Yep.
Yeah,
Very well.
Behind,
looks like a meeting as a business partner.
Yep, it is.
well, that's Hans Gruber and the Japanese CEO, right?
Yes. Mr. Nakamoto.
Nakamoto. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look behind the brass statue, there's a little rectangular piece. We call that a folding screen. It's 4 panels and they fold.
Yep.
So you can unfold them and they kind of give you a little privacy. So we call that a folding screen. They're usually very decorative, many times Asian in design.
Interesting. Okay. Anything else? Future project. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of fake plants as part of the room decor.
But we don't know. Maybe they're not fake. Maybe
They could be real. Could be. Yeah.
Could be. Okay, let's do the last one. Vasants, please. What is happening there? Who are these guys? What they're doing? What is a paid point cashier?
Okay. The policeman is purchasing some burger or something from the store, and I think the shopkeeper suspected all these breads and burgers are for this man, and he sensed that, and the policeman replied, "My wife is pregnant, so this is for her." Right. There is, and I wanted to ask about that small piggy bank. Is that common in every stores? At the donation, like he offered some money in the small box. Yeah.
Sometimes a small donation box. Yeah. Or usually sometimes that's for tips. It may be for a charity, or it might be a tip for the cashier. If he's very polite and nice, you might give your change to him as a tip. You put it in the tip box.
Well,
sometimes it's a charity too.
In Russia, we don't have them, but we use a phrase like "I don't need change" or something. So you just say that.
Keep the change, yeah.
Keep the change, yeah. And you go. So there are typical American foods: chips, cola, beverages.
Yeah, we got Fritos, potato chips, Coca-Cola on the shelf there. In the back, refrigerated drinks in the back.
What on the arm of the policeman we can see 3 stripes. Is it his rank? He's a sergeant.
Right. Yeah, 3 stripes is a sergeant.
Okay, and 4 or 5? No. How much is possible?
Usually 1, 2, and 3, and then it changes to a different look.
I see.
Sometimes it'll have a V on the bottom to make kind of a little diamond. And that's a higher level of sergeant.
Okay.
We have first sergeant, master sergeant. There's different levels of sergeants. He's the lowest level, so he's not real high in the organization.
But he has 3 stripes. It's not the lowest.
Right,
Someone,
right.
someone has 1.
Yep, years of experience. I'd say at least 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's interesting that because I believe our policemen, they serve for maybe 15 years or something, and after they go to be retired. So 10 years, it's a lot.
Well, he's a street policeman. He drives around in a car, you know, and arrests people on the street, stops cars. When you get to a certain level, you become a detective and you work in the office and you use your brain. But at his level, you use your fists.
Well, not a bad thing either. So guys, it was a nice class. I enjoyed it. I'm going to save a chat, and Sergey, please, you have a comment?
Yeah, I remembered about this moment when the McLean arrived to the hotel and they put this his finger to a touch screen in 1988. The American phone have the touch screen. Seriously?
But yes, we had touch screens for a long time, but it was a very primitive touch screens. It's just a hidden button, you can press in exact place. Just recall these ATM machines, old ATM machines. You have only 4 places to, 4 buttons on the screen.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, teacher, you're right. It's just a plastic covered buttons. It's not a touch screen, really.
Yeah. Okay.
Jürgen, please, you have a comment?
Yeah, I remember when Bruce Willis tied the fire hose around him and jumped out from the window, and he had luck because the spool, or what you call it, stay at the fastened at the wall. Or what do you say?
Yeah.
Get locked. Yeah.
It was an attempt to escape, right?
Yeah, he should go down to level 30 or something, and just as he reached the window, the spool was
reached its full length. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. Nice class. And we will have a class on next week as usual. I see that my internet is good enough for that. We have only one major interruption, but a little bit admin things. Teacher Lee and me, we think about to make 2 classes, not to have one long one, but have 2 classes. Shorter, but 2 during the week. So we have some, preferable time during the week. Please write in the chat. We will consider, the best time for everyone or something. And one will be a movie class. It's a Gerard idea. And another one will be something like TED, or we will find the source for a free discussion, something like this. Okay, that's all for today. And thank you very much for this class.
Bye-bye.
I feel my English, ramping up.